The holiday seasons are upon us, and if you're looking for events that combine fun, nostalgia, history, and small town charm with a healthy dose of holiday cheer, then look no further than Portsmouth. Would you like a sneak peek of events coming up in November and December? Then stay tuned, because that's coming up right here and right now on this episode of Portsmouth Now. Welcome to this November-December episode of Portsmouth Now. I'm your host, Rob Lauer. Come this time of year, people like to get out, enjoy the sights and sounds of the season, and partake of the holiday spirit. And there's no better place in Hampton Roads to do just that than right here in Old Town Portsmouth, where special holiday events kick off in November. On today's show, we have a lineup of special guests to tell us about some of those events. So, without further ado, let's get started. Our first guest today is Renee Spratly from the Portsmouth Department of Parks and Recreations. Welcome to Portsmouth Now, Renee.
Thank you. Hi, Rob. How are you?
Good.
Wonderful.
Now, you're here to tell us about a couple of events that are coming up in November, December, and the first one is about the holiday that most of us tend to overlook between, there's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and all of those, and then, but then there is Veterans Day.
Yes, sir, it is. We have our Veterans Day ceremony, which is on Thursday, November 11th at 11 a.m. It's held at High Street Landing down at the flagpole stage, and basically it's a day of remembering all the veterans.
Okay.
So,
is that open to the public and free?
it is open to the public and it is free, yes.
Okay, great. And then I guess big holiday event is the Old Town Music Festival.
Our Old Town Holiday Music Festival, yes sir, is on December 11th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's held along up and down High Street here. We have strolling carolers, we have live entertainment, we have some marshmallow fire roasting stations, as well as some children's activities and games and bounce houses further down along the Children's Museum Mall area.
Okay, and that is really a unique event.
It is. It is.
Yeah, and it's for the whole family.
It is open to the whole family. We hope everybody can come out if they have the opportunity. We have a lot of entertainment going on. It's family friendly, and again, it is open to the public and is free as well.
All right, fantastic. Well, anything else coming up in the near future with Parks and Recreation?
We won't have anything coming up again until probably the first of the year time frame, once we get through the holidays and all. So.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you for dropping by and telling us about those events.
Thank you, I appreciate it. You take care.
You too.
All right.
I'm joined now by Nettie Fisher, who's the president of the Old Town Business Association. Welcome back to Portsmouth Now, Nettie.
Oh, thank you, Robin. It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, so tell me, what is coming up in November, December? What is the association up to?
It's exciting. This is kind of like our premier month because in November, on November the 19th, the Old Town Business Association, along with the City of Portsmouth, who is our co-sponsor, have the Old Town Holiday Open House and Tree Lighting.
Oh, okay.
And it's always a great event. It will take place on the Friday before Thanksgiving. It starts at 4 o'clock and it will begin at the Children's Museum Middle Street Mall area.
Okay.
We'll be set up over there with 30 crafters and authors. That will start at 4 o'clock. And then at 5:30, we will have the tree lighting. The Sugar Plum Fairy will dance, the tree will be lit, the snow will fall, and a good time will be had by all.
So the tree will be in the mall there next to the
Yes, we have had typically 2 large trees in Old Town over the past 4 or 5 years. We will have the large tree right there at the Children's Museum, right as you look into the mall area, and that will be lit at 5:30 by the Sugar Plum Fairy. And then Father Christmas will be there.
Okay.
Father Christmas will be there to help the children and the adults in the group have a great time. It's really a wonderful event. That will go on until 7 o'clock. And from 4 till 8, there will be activity on the High Street corridor. Okay. So people will be at the Middle Street Mall. looking at the crafters and talking with the authors, and then they will wander down the street unless they choose to take the Old Town Shuttle, which will be running up and down the High Street corridor. In addition, on the High Street corridor throughout the rest of the evening, we will have the Colonial Carolers who will be on the street. We will have the Old Town Arts and Music Children's Chorus up and down the street. If you go over on the way down to the 600 block, you'll pass by the courthouse, and at the courthouse the outside will be decorated with the Coleman Nursery collection. Then you'll go down to Monumental Church and go into the chapel to see the original nativity set from the Coleman's Nursery. That will be open, and we'll be serving hot cider there. And then wander down to the 600 block, where in Anderson Wright, the Portsmouth Partnership, who's also one of our co-sponsors, will have Don Comer in the garden room, and we will have refreshments being served, and there'll be a great shopping experience all up and down the street. We end at 7:30 back at Trinity Church with a free holiday concert by the Tidewater Winds Quartet at Trinity Church. So it's going to be a really fun evening.
It sounds like a lot packed into that day.
It is a lot of activity from 4
great.
to 8 here in Old Town Portsmouth. So we just are really excited about that event. And the last Old Town Holiday Open House and tree lighting we had in 2019, I think the city estimated about 600 people there for the tree lighting. So it's really a fun event.
Wow. Now, are there any other holiday events scheduled at all?
Well, the next one for the Old Town Business Association after November the 19th will be November the 27th. And of course, that is Shop Small Saturday. And here in Old Town, we will start at 10 o'clock on Shop Small Saturday at the Welcome Center, our new Welcome Center, which if you haven't seen,
I have not.
You must go over and see the new Welcome Center in Portsmouth. We'll have an information table set up at the Welcome Center. The first 50 people out will be receiving swag bags. That day we'll have historical interpreters out on the street as you go from shop to shop. There'll be refreshments. We'll be giving away the goodie bags. And it's always nice when people come in and say, I'm here to support local. Because Local Shop One has estimated that for every $1 spent locally, 70 cents actually stays local.
Yeah.
So people are happy to come out and support local shops, and we like to make it a fun experience that day. So there will be the colonial interpreters, and there'll be a lot of fun going on the street that day, and that will go throughout the business day.
Wow.
And that's November the 27th.
That sounds like a lot of fun too.
So we hope people will come on out to Old Town. On the 27th, Winter Wonderland will be open.
Right.
So that will be in full swing, and tickets for Winter Wonderland will be $3. Children under 2 and under will be free.
Yeah, there's a lot to do here.
A lot to do.
Really is. And it's just there's a charm about Old Town that you really don't have anywhere else in Hampton Roads.
No, where do you get to stroll these wonderful streets and see the historic buildings that we have here in Old Town? You don't.
Well, thank you so much for coming back and joining us today and telling us about these events.
Thank you. It's nice to be here, and hope to see everyone come out to Old Town.
Old Town Portsmouth is home to 2 of the best museums in southeastern Virginia, the fabulous Children's Museum of Virginia and the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center. Both museums are within walking distance of each other, and each November and December both sponsor some landmark holiday events. Here to tell us about some of those is Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center Curator Gail Paul. Welcome back to Portsmouth Now, Gail.
Hi, good to see you again, Rob.
So, what do you have coming up this November, December after having had last holiday season off?
Right. Well, I think a lot of our visitors will be pleased to know that Winter Wonderland is returning this year. It opened here in 2004 and ran continuously until a few years ago. We took a 3-year break, and partially due to COVID and the structural issues with the building, so now we're ready to open again.
That's great. And so is it I know that there are hundreds and hundreds of figurines and stuff from Coleman's Nursery. Is it all of them, or do you just select different ones each year? Do you sort of change it up a little bit?
They change it up a little bit each year, and over the years, a few different scenes have been added. And then, of course, when pieces eventually break down, they need to go in for repair. So this year, I haven't seen the whole exhibit yet. We've got parts of it that are complete. So I think people will be really pleased to see what's going on.
That's great. And so now, is that open 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 5 days
They
a
will
week?
have reduced hours this year because of COVID. So we'll be open Wednesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Okay.
And then on Sundays from 9 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. again.
All right. Now, are there any other events besides Winter Wonderland happening at the museum?
We'll have lots of activities. So like we did before, we would always have like an opening weekend with a lot of activities. Santa will be here. So Santa will be here Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. People should visit our website to get the hours if they are planning to come visit Santa. We'll have, we can't do face painting, but we'll have arm and hand painting.
Okay.
And there will be a variety of arts and crafts activities as well.
All right. Now, down at the Children's Museum, can you tell us anything about the snow?
Oh, they'll be offering snow wonders,
Okay.
like they've done in the past. So that will happen on Fridays and Saturdays from 5:30 until 6 o'clock p.m.
Now, for those who might not know what Snow Wonders is, could you explain what it is?
So we have these snow machines, and we'll have a few here, but they're
Uh-huh.
not as powerful as the ones they have at Children's. So since we don't normally have snow in this area for the holidays, so from the rooftop, they will be spitting out snow. So these snow machines will happen like every Friday and Saturday night, 5:30 to 6 o'clock. So people can come and get the experience of snow.
And it really does look like snow.
It really does look like snow. Yes, yes,
And it's fun watching the kids running around playing in it. And
yes. And so anyway, so there's a variety of different things that they'll be doing. The Naval Shipyard Museum will also have a display. They'll be showing holidays at the shipyard, showing some of the historic photographs that had taken place there at the shipyard.
Okay, that's things like the big, I know they used to have giant Christmas trees
Yes.
and things like that.
Yes.
They put up every holiday season in the
Yes.
shipyard back in the 40s and 50s.
Right.
That's great. That's
So-
very nostalgic too, very World War II era Christmas.
Right.
Yeah. And coming up on New Year's Eve, is there an event here?
That will take place at Children's Museum this year.
Okay.
So we have, our shop has been closed next door, but that's where we'll have our activities. So it'll take place in the shop. So
Okay.
that's where we'll have our arts and crafts activities. Santa will be upstairs in the chalet scene. So visitors can come and have their pictures taken with Santa. But all of the arts and crafts activities will take place next door.
Okay, well, great. Well,
And music too. We'll have
the
music throughout.
Lots of music
Yes.
throughout. Okay, and
On
I know,
weekends.
and on I guess a lot of Saturday mornings you'll have the farmers market out here in the courtyard or around the courtyard.
Yes.
So that's going on also on Saturdays.
Yes.
So basically, this is the place to be in December on
Yes.
Saturdays.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Lots happening on Saturdays. And then we have a Portsmouth Residents Day, which is it's the Sunday, December 19th. So Portsmouth residents, if they come with like a bill or ID or something that shows that they live here in Portsmouth, it's a free admission for them
Oh,
that
that's
day.
great. That's great. We're saying thank
So-
you for living in Portsmouth.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
All
And
right.
come and enjoy part of your history. So with the
Yeah.
Coleman collection.
It is. I mean, Coleman's has been such a big part of Portsmouth holiday seasons for what, close to 60 years almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I know that was a big part of your growing up.
It was, yes. Because I'm that
Truth be
old, I can
told.
remember it. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Gail, and telling us about all of this.
Thank you, Rob. One other thing.
Uh-huh.
So the nativity scene will be at Monumental United Methodist Church.
Okay.
And so they will be open on Saturdays and Sundays
All right.
through December 19th.
And this is the nativity scene that was originally outside at Coleman's Nursery.
Originally at Coleman's.
Well, great.
So-
That's good to know. All right. So you've heard all about this. So be sure to come out to the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center and the Portsmouth Museums and check out everything that's going on this holiday season.
The Children's Museum of Virginia is back open for business. We've got new displays, including a new summer exhibit and all of your old favorites. If you need gift ideas, the museum shop features children's books, educational resources, and for the first time, merchandise from the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard Museum and the Art and Cultural Center. We've got something for just about anyone on your shopping list. Plus, you can always shop online at portsmuseumshop.com. After being closed for more than a year, the Children's Museum of Virginia is now open. New displays at the Children's Museum are Lumo Play, Everbright, a new summer exhibit titled Some Assembly Required, and the refurbished Happy Paws. The Children's Museum of Virginia is open Wednesday through Sunday for 2 sessions each day. Reserve your tickets at childrensmuseumvirginia.com, where children's imaginations take flight.
Old Town Portsmouth is home to the largest collection of historic houses north of Charleston and south of Alexandria. And if you'd like to see the history of those homes brought to life, then the next time you come to Old Town, you need to have our next guest give you a personal tour. We'd like to welcome back to Portsmouth Now, Mary Veal and the Colonials. Mary, welcome back to Portsmouth Now.
Hello, Rob.
Now tell us a little bit, who was Mary Veal?
Mary Veal was the housekeeper to Colonel William Crawford, the founder of Portsmouth, who founded the town in 1752.
All right, and if people want to come and have a tour done by Mary Veal and the Colonials, what would that be like? How would they find out more about that?
Well, you can get information about us at our Welcome Center, or you can call us. They have cards at the Welcome Center, which has our website, which is very simple it's portsmouthlivinghistory.com. So you can go up on our website, you can call us and schedule a private tour. And the homes will be especially beautiful this time of year with all the holiday decorations and all of that.
And we are here to talk about holidays, and for you and the Colonials to tell us about some of the holidays we're celebrating.
Well, our strolling characters represent, just as we do the year round, we try to represent many socioeconomic backgrounds, many cultures, many time periods. And the interesting thing about Portsmouth is we're not locked into the colonial era like Williamsburg, for example.
There's Civil War, there's World War II, there's the Civil Rights era, there's everything here.
And you might see 2 characters from completely different eras strolling together, and you'll get a history lesson on both of their eras and perhaps everything in between.
That is a fascinating way to bring history to life.
So, thank you. And so our strolling characters for the holidays include Rabbi Otshul, who was the first rabbi here in Portsmouth, and also Babu, who is, which means grandfather or ancestor in Swahili, who will be telling everyone about the Kwanzaa celebration that's coming up starting December 26th, of course. And then, of course, we have Father Christmas is returning this year to tell everyone about the Christmas holiday.
Fantastic. Now, you're going to tell us a little bit today about Thanksgiving yourself?
Yes, I'm dressed in my Thanksgiving dress.
Very appropriate.
As you can see. Of course, Thanksgiving for us wasn't like it is for you today. We didn't go to the grocery shelves and pick out whatever we wanted to eat. It was whatever we had harvested from our gardens during the summer, and also what we might have harvested from the woods nearby. And so we were especially grateful because if we had a good harvest, it meant that we wouldn't starve to death. And so
that's always nice.
Yes, the stakes were a lot higher for us back then. And so Thanksgiving truly was a holiday where we thank the Lord for all of his provisions.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, I'm going to move down the line here, and I'm
please
going to have
do.
some of your friends tell me about who they are and their holiday.
Very good. Oh, before we start, I want to introduce Billy Flora. He's come here to sing.
Okay.
We're also going to have carolers. I forgot to tell you about that. I apologize. And he's got these bells because he was the owner of the livery stable. So this is what he brought
so these
for
would
our
have been
holiday
like
celebration.
Put on the
Absolutely,
horses.
absolutely.
Well, great. We'll look forward to that music a little bit later. Now you are.
I'm Rabbi Altshul. I immigrated from Lithuania in the 1880s to minister to the first synagogue here in Portsmouth, or we call them shuls.
That's right.
We had Gamli Hesed on County Street. It was the first synagogue in Portsmouth, and the last as well. It's closed in 2014.
Okay, all right. Now, the holiday that you celebrate this time of year is Hanukkah.
Yes.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about the holiday?
Well, technically it's not a holiday, it's only a festival. That's the next level
festival,
down.
okay.
Hanukkah is the festival of lights. It is a celebration of our survival as a people. In the Hellenistic era, the Macedonian Greeks conquered Palestine, Israel, and we were content for them to rule us as long as they allowed us to practice our religion in peace. Then they tried to prevent that, force us to worship the Greek gods. Then we rebelled in order to survive as a people. And after a long and difficult guerrilla war, we drove them from our homeland, we purified the temple and reopened it for our religious services. But when we did so, there was only one vial of oil that was ritually pure for our ceremonies. But a miracle took place. God allowed that one vial of oil to last for 8 days, even though there was only a 1-day supply in the bottle. And so, to this day, during the month of Kislev, November or December for you, the Jewish calendar is lunar, so the holiday moves around. For 8 days, we light candles in celebration of God's miracle and his sign of favor for the rebirth of Israel as a nation.
Right, and that's what the menorah is here.
Yes, the menorah holds the candles. The dreidels are inscribed with 4 Jewish letters. These symbolize the preservation of our learning and culture in the face of efforts to erase us as a people. The yarmulke is religious headgear. We cover our heads before God as a sign of respect to him. We give each other presents in Hanukkah. This is something that we copied from Christianity. It's because while we do think it's important to preserve our culture, we also want to get along with the surrounding community, so we combine our ancient traditions with the traditions of the larger society around us, like presents and wrapping paper and that sort of thing.
All right, that's very enlightening. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us.
You're welcome.
Welcome to Portsmouth Now, and you are?
My name, I am called Babu, or you can call me Bibi, or you can call me Natate Mugolu. All of them mean ancestor or grandfather.
Abu then.
Babu.
Babu. All right, and you're here to tell us about Kwanzaa.
Yes, I'm here to tell you about Kwanzaa and the meaning of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a celebration. It starts the 26th of December and it ends the 1st of January, and it culminates in a great big feast and gift giving. It started in 1966. Dr. Maulana Karenge, he was the one that created it. He created it out of the Watts riots that happened in 1965 to bring people closer together. And by doing this, he created Kwanzaa. Now, by creating Kwanzaa, he had to research the Ashanti and the Zulu tribes to find out what their harvest was. After he found out what the harvest was, he combined the two to make Kwanzaa. Now, this is the Kanara. The Kanara, the colors of the candles are very important because the black represents the people. The red represents the blood that the people shed. The green represents the hope that goes along with their struggle.
All right. And so we have, this here represents harvest, I suppose?
Yes, sir. And this part, the tangible part, is the part that's called the 7 core symbols. You have 7 principles also, and I'm sure you have heard them in the song, Umoja, Kujija Kalera, you have Ujima, Ujama, and you have Imani, and you have all of the ones. Imani means fate, of course, means fate. But what you have here is the makika. The makika is what you put everything on. That represents the foundation of the people. That's why this goes on the bottom. This is the muhindi. This is the corn right here. This is part of the core symbols. And this right here is the kikombe umoja. And what happens is all of the ancestors drink from this cup right here. Every one of the ancestors. When you put this down, you put down an ear of corn for every child that you have. For every child that the family has, you put down an ear of corn. And this is part of the core symbols. So we have the principles mixed with the core symbols also.
That's fascinating. This is interesting here. What is this a instrument or is it a...
This is an instrument right here, and it's used when we have the singing and the drumming and the dancing. So this goes along concurrently with the feast.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
You are more than welcome. Joyous Kwanzaa to you.
And to you. Now, you have a family resemblance to this guy, Santa Claus?
Well, I do, and actually Santa Claus is a younger cousin of mine by some 200 years.
Okay.
But I am Father Christmas, and so The custom of merrymaking and feasting began during Christmastide began during the Middle Ages. And so the first English personification of Christmas was associated with merrymaking and singing. And then in 1658, I rode on a horse decorated in tinfoil in a parade. Yes, at Norwich, England. And so I think that's where you folks get your idea for tinsel on the Christmas tree.
Okay.
That's where that comes from.
I didn't know that.
And many folks mistake me for Santa Claus. But as I said, he's a much younger cousin than I. And Santa Claus is focused on the giving of gifts, while I am focused on the spreading of good cheer.
All right, so merrymaking, partying, feasting.
Yes, responsibly, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, they go hand in hand. As you can see here on the table, we have the different symbols of Christmas here. We have the Advent wreath, and we have the colonial toys there. And so yes, it's a joyous season. And so as you can see, there are many traditions that go with this time of year. And even though they're very different and they come from very different cultures, this is the season to be joyful and celebrate together. All people of all cultures united in celebrating the joyous gifts we've been given.
Couldn't have said it better, thank you.
So we're celebrating the birth of Christ. And so I say, make right merry and be joyful. Sing with us now.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her kings.
It's a holiday, come on, celebrate and rejoice.
It's Kwanzaa.
Spreading unity in the family and community.
It's Kwanzaa.
Because our legacy is oh so strong, yeah, yeah. So let's celebrate and take this time for the season of Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It's time to celebrate.
Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat.
From Maryville and the Colonials, we want to wish you all a
Happy Holidays!
For the last 24 years, Old Town Portsmouth has been the home to probably the most unique New Year's Eve event you'll find anywhere. And here joining me is Susan Healy to tell me about the Old Town Scottish Walk.
Absolutely. This is an event that the city, everyone in the city is invited to participate in. It has been an event for 24 years. And it is where the townspeople come down to the downtown and meet and thank their merchants and their city for what they've done over the past year and to wish good luck into the new year. In that event, we sing Auld Lang Syne, which is the tradition that was carried on into New York, where they drop the ball and sing Auld Lang Syne for the same reason, to thank their country, their city, and to wish good luck in the new year.
That's great. Now, 24 years ago, how did you come up with this idea? I know this is a Scottish tradition. So why did you think to bring that here to Old Town?
Well, of course, we have a Scottish history here in Portsmouth. It was founded by a group of Scots that came here and opened the shipyard and the churches, and it was actually used as housing for the Scottish troops during the Revolution. But it was something that I just wanted to do to get the townspeople together for everyone. It didn't matter, you didn't need a date for New Year's Eve, your children could come. It's during daylight hours, and we could just gather together, take a little short walk. It's not a race or competition, but it's a walk where you can actually just take your time. You can ride if you need to have a vehicle. Sorry, it's breezy out here. And we go down to the waterfront and sing Auld Lang Syne. It's a very short walk. It's probably not even a mile. And it was just a festive thing to do at New Year's to involve everybody and anybody for free who wanted to come.
Yeah, it's a wonderful event. I came to it about 4 years ago, and I've never experienced anything like it. And I was amazed to see all the people. It's not like you don't have to be Scottish to come out to this.
No.
No, it's for anybody.
Well, a Scottish walk, the name comes from Scots were known to be thrifty, so we can't have a parade and we're not going to charge people money to be there. It's all free and therefore it's cheap, a cheap parade. So a Scottish walk is a cheap parade.
And so if you come out, you're part of the Scottish cheap
you're
parade.
In the parade. And we have people that actually will be on their front porches and will step down and join us for the walk down to the waterfront.
That's great. And then of course afterwards people disperse and maybe get something to eat, go to one of the pubs, Durham pubs or someplace.
Exactly. And you may find some pipers or fiddlers or musicians just along the street randomly performing after the walk and festivities.
And that's what New Year's is all about,
yes.
Festivities. Well, I'm looking forward to this year's walk. I really missed not going last year. It's good that it's back.
Yes.
And thank you so much, really, for overseeing this for 24 years and making it an annual event that really is unlike any other you're going to find around here.
So let me give some details about the walk. We step off at the corner of Washington and London at 4:30. Of course, you'll want to come a little earlier than that to park or find your place in the line. There's people with dogs, there's church groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, family groups, wherever you would like to fit in. And we take a short walk. This year we're going up Glasgow Street, very appropriate for Scottish walk, but because of construction problems on Court. And we're going to go straight up Glasgow to the water as we usually do. Takes about 45 minutes total with a little ceremony on High Street celebrating some Portsmouth history from the history groups.
Fantastic. It's a lot of fun. Thank you again for making this a reality.
Thank you.
And be sure to come out on New Year's Eve to Old Town Portsmouth for the Old Town Scottish Walk. That's it for today's show. If you'd like more information on any of the events featured on this program, simply log on to www.portsvaevents.com. And then come make Old Town Portsmouth part of your holiday traditions. I'm Rob Lauer. On behalf of everyone here at Portsmouth Now, I wish you and yours a joyous holiday season and a happy new year.